Yeah. On a since
This
we're
is
snowed
me.
in,
Since we're snowed, yeah. Since we're all snowed in, we'll have a tropical background.
like WikiLeaks, we're snowed
Yeah,
in.
snowed in. Well, what do you say we get this thing rolling?
Whenever you are ready, sir.
We're recording, so anything you
No,
say
I thought you did.
will be used against you.
Then you keep on like, how about we get this thing started? So I'm like,
I was waiting for you to say something. I am a little on the tired side. We had a nice, fun little adventure.
as am
Today.
I. I was just talking to the wife about, are we just getting old? But we're like exhausted. We went out sledding yesterday and then today, and then it's
Yeah,
like
we decided to test the 4-wheel drive capabilities of the Beardmobile today. We did some real cross country action. It was fun times.
Nice.
Glad to report that it returned unscathed. All is well.
Good. I did see the one picture, but yeah, no, it was like, you make me feel lazy because there's like a wash behind our house that has really good sledding spots. And
there's one near our house as well, and we were playing in that one yesterday. But today,
okay.
I don't know. I just had a little bit of an itch to go out and explore a little bit further. So we went way out Perkinsville Road and got off the road a ways. Had some sketchy experiences for a little bit, but all is well.
I was like, listen, after my experiences yesterday, I'm comfortable leaving my car in the driveway.
Right. So you didn't even tell me. You didn't elaborate
I know, like,
anything. I messaged you referencing a typo that you had, and then just crickets. I got nothing but crickets after that.
Yeah, so I think two things or three things in what you just said. So funny enough, you and I are good enough friends. The best.
But
you and I have not only our personal texts chained to each other,
right,
but we also have two separate group chats.
Correct.
And we're fairly active in all of these things.
Yes.
But sometimes it's kind of like, all right, what did I say where? What did I relate?
I know where you're heading with this, and let me tell you that I am fully aware of where I put that text to you.
No, I agree. Like, it is.
But I knew it was in a different thread. I was hoping to spark a little bit more of a conversation to see what actually happened.
Right. And I think in my own humor, and I'm trying to think of how to tell this story of the improper text thing without offense. But I was voice texting my wife yesterday, letting her know that I was going to be going to the store to pick up sleds.
Yes.
And when I said the word sleds,
apparently it sounded like something else.
It sounded like something else that you would not, that I've never gone looking for such things.
Right.
Nor would I. And on the offset, like, it's not something you would send your wife.
Hey, you know what? It's 2021. Who are we to judge other people's relationships and how they, or something like that? No.
But that's
no.
What makes it funnier. That's not, you know me well enough that that's not even a thing.
Right.
Which I'm just going to say it. I need to say it. So it changed the word sleds to sluts.
Right.
Which is not even a word. Like, I like choked up even then just saying it.
Well, because for me, and I'm sure for you, hearing that word reminds me of a specific scene in a specific movie.
100%. And I even saying it like, but it's not
Right.
a word that I
bandy
use.
about. No,
I don't. No, like I said, I even like hesitated saying it because it's not
in your
it's not a
vocabulary.
word that I use.
Yeah.
And for the fans out there, yeah, it's nothing. But I sent this to my wife not thinking it. And so then it was us laughing because I was going to the department store to pick up said thing.
Yeah.
So it was ha ha ha. I had sent that to you in one text.
Yes, and I responded referencing
like,
that text in another text thread.
Right. And I, in laughing about it, continuing this joke, figured I'd just let it hang there. Like,
right.
Just to make this other question. Hey, there you are.
Yeah.
Question: what did you like do it wrong? Is that like I just for my own humor? And they never said anything. They never questioned it.
Yeah.
But then I waited so long that I never responded to you. So yeah, so quick story time because yesterday was a very, very eventful day. I pulled into our local lake after we left the office after the Rockstar Monday morning hangover show. I go over to Watson Lake. It had stopped snowing. I was like, I'm sending the drone up.
Sure.
Well, I pull in and may have been quickly told that the park was closed.
Okay.
Or in the process of closing. So I go, cool. I'll turn around. Thumbs up, thumbs up. I kept going. I turned around at a certain point, but there were still people there and stuff like hanging out. So I was like, okay, cool, no problem. Stop snowing. Just sent the drone up super quick. Get the footage, which, by the way, for those things, just got aired on Fox 10 News.
Oh, really?
So that was
nice.
Yeah. So went up, got the footage. I'm leaving. Oh, they had closed off the road. Like exiting entrance pylons.
Barricaded.
Luckily for me, I own a 4-wheel drive Jeep and was able to go up on the sidewalk in order to leave.
Right. Because why not?
Right. So then I went to go get the sleds and got all done with that. And it's sitting there in the thought process of, because the way the roads were, I'm going to take like kind of the straight shot instead of going down curves and everything like that.
Right.
That was my thought process. Not deal with as many stupid drivers. You know what? Downtown should be like, they're going to have that plowed and it's a straight shot.
Oh, no. That never happens.
Well, it was. In one, it was a sense, but there's, as you and local people, it turns from Grove Avenue onto Gurley Street before that straight shot. Mm-hmm. There was a giant moving truck that was in this lane next to me that had pulled up after I was at the light. They cut the corner.
Oh.
And they clipped the back of my Jeep. Sounded a whole lot worse than it ended up being.
Good. I mean, glad you're, okay.
Yes, it sounded bad. But it just ended up being my taillight. But yeah, I came home and ended up going sledding and playing out in the snow with the kids and stuff. But it was an eventful day.
It sounds like it. So hopefully their insurance will cover it and all will be well.
Yeah, I think so. I was trying to be, because of my past profession. I understand that if a commercial truck driver gets a ticket, like they lose their job.
Right.
So I was not wanting to make it into anything bigger than it needed to be. So hopefully everything's all well and good. If all else fails and they do that, it's not that bad.
Gotcha.
So
I mean, the taillight housing on that Jeep shouldn't be more than a couple $100 anyway.
Yeah, I've already talked to my mechanic dude, and he's like, dude, we got it for like pretty cheap, you know, relatively cheap. Like, get it taken care of and send him pictures. And so I'm not horribly worried. It was just kind of like, hey, thankfully it wasn't as bad. So
right.
But anyways, now that I've bored with my very long story
about you getting gently nudged by a giant truck.
Yeah. Please believe it would have
been
a
Walmart in the search of disreputable women. I don't know if you're frozen or if you just didn't get the joke, but that's fine.
Right.
Oh, your internet connection
just moving
is
past
not
it.
loving me.
Did you freeze?
You froze.
Hey, there it is. There it is. You froze.
You did. Anyway, I'm here. I never left.
So, yeah, man. Yeah. So we've got a bunch of stuff to talk about and not a whole lot to talk about.
No, not really. I mean, there is some things and some stuff.
Yeah.
The ongoing story that is WandaVision got a whole lot more interesting this week.
Right, and that's what I mean, like, because, and we've posted it on the page and stuff like that, like, are people in or not?
Right.
And it seems very, very divided, which is fascinating. Like, I'm in.
Oh, I'm totally in.
But
I'm actually, I have a theory already.
Yeah, I feel like it's lost, where I think I said that last week or whatever, where it's like, listen, we're getting questions answered, but we have about 20 more for everyone that's answered.
Right.
And so it's kind of theorizing it. And so, yeah, it's kind of just a weird Twilight Zone mixed with all these sitcoms throughout the last few decades, you know?
Right. Now, so, I mean, this coming week, we should be, you know, if they're following their same timeline, we should be entering into the 80s in this week's upcoming episode.
Right.
So I'll be interested to see how they handle that.
Yeah. It looks like late 70s, early 80s or something like that. But
yeah,
in this past week, some characters got like kicked out, but in the trailer, they're back. So I don't really know what's going on.
There's definitely a game of some sort is afoot.
Well said.
We know that this fictional town that they're in is a real place. It's a physically real place.
Which
kicked with a bubble over it.
Theory that was this her reality that she created was kind of my theory, and that got knocked out. So this is an actual like Truman Show situation.
Yeah, and I think it has more to do with the fact that Wanda is unstable.
Yeah.
And has the potential to be very dangerous.
Yes.
And so my theory is that this town is more of a containment unit that they're trying to create, because after Vision died, when he got his stone ripped out, she went off the deep end, and they're kind of it's almost like like a Dark Phoenix scenario that they're trying to avoid.
Right. So before
and it's not working.
Yeah. So it's kind of crazy because in this last episode, it was kind of like Scarlet Witch, Wanda was almost the bad guy.
In some ways, yeah.
Yeah, where she had kind of, and I'm not saying she is, but I think that she's trying to create this, she's trying to hold on to this dream.
Right.
Like she's having a dream, and these things are messing with that reality or that dream.
Right.
And then she's quickly like, nope, rewinding time, like playing the scene over again. And then when in the last episode, I mean, it went quick where one of the characters broke character.
Yeah. Slipped up.
Intentionally or accidentally, I don't know. It seemed like they're not themselves either in a weird way.
True.
But she broke character and Wanda kicked her out of the show. Kicked her out of the bubble.
Yeah.
And so it's just I'm in for the ride to see kind of what happens. And
see, I think that ultimately
I don't know. This whole
I think that we have a situation where they've not set this up to be a very long running show, which I find interesting. It doesn't seem like it's going to have a lot of longevity. I'm thinking a maximum of 2 seasons. Because it's going to, it has to finish. Again, if what I have going on up here actually pans out, essentially the show will need to end prior to the events that will happen in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
Correct.
Because I think she's gonna go supernova and
I don't know.
Yeah, like I said, 1 season, probably 2. I'm guessing, based on the MCU timelines and everything like that. But we're going to see her basically tear a hole in reality.
Right. So
that Doctor Strange will then have to put back together, which also is how we'll end up with the events that will happen in the upcoming Spider-Man 3, and why we have all the other Spider-Men already lined up.
Which sounds like it's
in the cast. Yeah.
Which sounds like it's happening, and I'm all for it. I heard Tobey Maguire is getting paid very, very well to return.
Good for him.
Yeah, I mean, well played. You're holding all the cards, so you might as well. I mean,
I thought maybe he would just be, view himself as fortunate that he gets to be in a decent Spider-Man 3. Andrew Garfield is just like, cool, I get the 3rd movie? Sweet.
Oh, yeah. No, it was...
And this is Tobey Maguire's chance at a do-over.
Right, and making a comeback.
Yeah.
Because maybe it's just me. I haven't seen a whole lot from Mr. Maguire.
No, I haven't either.
He pops up here and there. But, he hasn't been anything. I think the last thing I remember seeing him in is that, what was it? That Leonardo DiCaprio, what am I running a blank on it? It's the meme where he's always holding the glass. Like what's it called? Anyways, not important. It's not coming to me. It's not.
I was going to say the only one that comes to mind is the one with Leonardo DiCaprio.
That's what That's what I was just saying.
Okay.
Literally the word that I was just saying.
Oh, well, you cut out for a second, so on my end at least, so I apologize. I'm also trying to see what the last thing that Tobey Maguire was in.
Yeah.
And he was the adult voice and the narrator of the character Tim in the 2017 smash hit Boss Baby.
I think that just proved our point.
Right. I think absolutely it proved everything that needs to be proven at this point.
Yeah, because I don't know. But speaking of CGI movies, I know you and I talked the other day. Finally sat down and watched Spies in Disguise with the family.
Right.
Like and it was like streaming on HBO Max or something, I think.
I think so, yeah.
Not bad. Like actually really good.
So I've had time to think about this since we had our conversation. And what I was thinking was it actually not bad? Or were my expectations so incredibly low that it just happened to exceed them? So I'm like, well, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
I think a little bit of both. I mean, when we started the movie, I was like, I don't really want to watch this. Kind of like, I'll watch it for the family and stuff like that. But and it starts out really Pixar-ish, like campy kind of Pixar-ish.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, oh my god, this is going to be horrible, whatever. And I think it was actually good. But I think again, the bar was set so low, like I think it was better than
than you thought it was going to be. Yeah. All right.
Right.
So speaking of movies that are on HBO Max that I happened to watch this last week, there's a movie called Lockdown.
Okay.
And
is this Sylvester Stallone?
It is. So I mean, first of all, I think it was interesting that they've already made a movie centered around the coronavirus. So it's London.
One.
No. It takes place in London during the first stage of the lockdown, and it was actually not terrible. It wasn't great. You could tell that it was kind of slapped together,
right,
in a lot of ways. But it was a fun little watch, and it was interesting to see them kind of poke fun at, all the crap that we've been dealing with for the last 12 months.
Well, the funny thing is, I do remember seeing like a picture, kind of like poster thing about the movie. But the funny thing is that when you said it, I pictured it as the movie where Sylvester Stallone is like the guy that is a professional. Like, I break out of jail to find out where their weaknesses are.
Oh, no. This was a rom-com.
I thought it was This is a rom-com?
Kind of.
With Sylvester Stallone?
Nope. Anne Hathaway.
Oh, I was like, we're glitching out hard. I just made a whole other movie in my head. Okay.
Yeah. No, this has nothing to do with breaking out of prisons. This has everything to do with a couple on the brink of relationship failure planning a heist during the coronavirus lockdown in London.
Oh, okay. See, I'd said Sylvester Stallone earlier, and you're like, yep. So I made
no. There was a movie called Lockdown starring Sylvester Stallone that came out several years ago. But this one just came out, like just aired this last week or so. When did the one with? Because there is one
that was an older one. There's been sequels to the other.
Yes, there have been.
So
I could try and find it, but I'm not going to. But yeah, I think it had Sylvester Stallone. It might have had. Was Arnold in that one? Or was he in the sequel?
He was in like the sequel.
Yeah.
Because
so no, two very different movies.
Like, I got to be honest though, I'm combining those movies, and it's great in my head.
It's got potential.
Sylvester Stallone, Anne Hathaway in a rom-com about breaking out of jail.
Right. And that's our show, ladies and gentlemen.
So
Oh, I forgot what did we promise the people last week? It wasn't the top 50.
no, we
That's
were gonna
next week. We got a
do.
whole week. We got a whole other week.
We were making up the movie.
Oh, that's
We'll
right.
have to do it next week. We'll have to do or a special or something.
Yeah, because
Uh,
this
blizzard
big old nasty snowstorm kind of threw us for a loop this week. So we'll do that thing next week because
we'll do a special. Yeah,
because reasons.
So I need to talk about pickles for half a second.
You don't like pickles.
So I don't like pickles, but so just kind of segueing, talking about two things about pickles. One of them you know about. The other one, watching movie HBO Max, watched An American Pickle with Seth
I've seen
Rogen.
the poster. I have not pulled the trigger on that one yet.
Really good. Really good. Got a couple, S word bombs. But other than that, for a Seth Rogen movie, like very, very tame. Could have watched it with the kids. Right. I'm not trying to make it sound all bad. But actually really, really good. So not and it's his great grandfather falls in a vat of pickles in his brine and comes back out, in today's time. And so it's kind of that fish out of water, him seeing technology and stuff like that. But it's both characters are played by Seth Rogen.
So it's like a Rip Van Winkle story. It's like a Rip Van Winkle, but with pickles.
With pickles, which, I mean, I could get past. It was fine. But segueing, still talking about pickles. We had this moment, but I realized, putting into words, my hatred for pickles is now at the point where it outweighs my love for other things.
I had that thought, actually. You officially hate pickles more than you love Kevin Smith,
which is like really hard to like say.
I get that,
but there was more to it. I mean, as you say. So those are we are both. I'm a huge Kevin Smith fan, and he has had a pop-up shop that has been happening for his movies restaurant that goes throughout his whole chain of movies. But it was coming to Phoenix here locally, and I called you up because I was like, hey, well, first of all, it was like, we're gonna do this. And then it was, hey, we need tickets came out for sale. So I'm going to ask you for help with math since you've already sit there and done this. But it was $30 for the ticket.
$39 for the ticket.
$39 for the ticket. And that was down in Phoenix, which it was about a 2-hour drive, right?
Right about, yeah, right downtown Phoenix. Takes about an hour and 45, 2 hours to get there.
Right, but that's a 2 hours there, 2 hours back, we'll say.
Right, 4-hour round trip.
4-hour round trip. Then you had to like wait in line with all these other people, which it's just not the time for that. Just saying. Yeah, it just looks bad.
Right.
But at $39 for the ticket. Now, did it include the meal? Because the prices were different.
Okay. So for $39, you got an entree. So you could choose one of a couple of different burgers or a chicken sandwich.
Right. Thank you. That was
French fries were an additional $8. And a drink
you could
was
choose
an
between
additional
onion
$6
rings or
tater tots.
Yeah. It was onion rings or tater tots. You get to choose. And then the soda was like $8.
$8, yeah.
Unless you wanted the specialty beer that came out.
Right.
Which was $24.
Now, granted, that was for a 6-pack, which officially makes one beer cheaper than an actual soda.
Right. Agreed. So, I mean, tallying up those things, because I don't understand the burger itself, like it showed like $24. So I didn't know if it was priced all together or if it was priced separately than the ticket itself.
It was like for if I remember correctly, it was $39. That was a ticket and one of the entrees, and then everything else was extra. And you ultimately bailed because you had no way to customize your sandwich.
It automatically came with pickles. It automatically came with pickles, and there was no way of taking off the pickles.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just it turns my stomach just even thinking about like doing that. But it was that much money to essentially get a burger that I wouldn't eat.
Yeah, it was going to be $50 a pop plus gas and time,
right,
for you to throw up in Kevin Smith's restaurant.
Right, just to say that I went there.
Right,
and so the ultimate decision was like, nope. As soon like everything on top of it, of just going, that's ridiculous. But
it was like the rest of it was ridiculous. But the straw that broke the camel's back was you couldn't take the pickles off the burger.
Yeah, which then also means the fact that they were pre-made.
Well, you got to imagine, they're shuffling people in and out.
How long? Right. Yeah. So it was just a whole mess of things, but pickles is what put it over the edge.
It happens.
And said no. Just said no. But I'll get over it.
Yeah, you didn't.
I'll get over it.
I guarantee you've had better burgers in your life.
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure you can still order the commemorative. I'm pretty sure you can still get the commemorative cup on eBay. So
yeah,
right. If that's what you're after.
I mean,
by the
maybe
way,
I'll do something like that.
If you wanted to upgrade your soda from a regular soda to one in a commemorative collector's cup, that was an additional $14. Mm-hmm. It was a lot.
Even saying
we love you, Kevin.
Even saying it out loud.
Come on.
Yeah. It was just
too much.
Yeah. Too much. So, but
that's just life.
We'll do something. But speaking of burgers and stuff, we got some cruising episodes that we're going to be lining up.
You just tell me when. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go.
I know. So it'll be all good. So for everybody listening still, stay tuned for that.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to go have some hot cocoa because I'm still cold.
Yeah, that sounds good. I'm going to go warm up as well. So.
And thanks for listening. This brings back bad memories doing this.
Yes.
Brings back.
But it's nice that we're able to do it because it's it's best not to be out on the road right now.
Right.
Doing that again, I got hit by someone, but shame on them. So but stay safe, stay warm,
have fun with your friends, Frankenstein. All right, that's gonna do it for this week. We'll be back next week with a real episode. This one's not real, but you know what I mean. And until then, he's Tucker.
He's Beard.
And we're out. Yeah, that's not my favorite way to do these things.
Deuces. Yeah, no, it's not mine as well, but I think it works and it's responsible.
It's better than not doing one.
Right.
Barely.
And it's just one of those things of being able to stay consistent without getting everything all messed up. Because, if I wouldn't have gone to the office yesterday, then I wouldn't have gone to the store.
Well, actually, had we just sat down and recorded a real episode yesterday,
Yep.
then you wouldn't have been where you were when you were.
Exactly.
And instead of you, it could have been a poor old lady on a bicycle who could have been dead by now because she got ran over by a moving truck. So you saved an old woman's life.
Wow. I didn't even think of that.
See?
I'm okay with it.
Yeah. You took one for the team.
It's not bad. It's $175, but
yeah, I knew that it's only a couple $100 to get one of those.
Dude, it sounded like my whole back end was messed up. It sounded bad. So
I'm glad luckily, it wasn't.
Yeah, me too. So, and then it's like just side note of, listen, if I would have been in my past profession, it would have been a bigger deal. It would have been a harder hit, which sounds like really bad, but it's like, it's like this weird like gift in a weird way of going, hey, where I am now, it's not as hard of a hit.
Right. It's not the end of the world.
Right.
All right.